Hey man, the streets are saying that Dame Dash is a pathological liar. And if you've been under a rock, you know that Dame Dash had a viral interview on The Breakfast Club yesterday. And in my opinion, he made himself look more ridiculous after he left than before he came. Honestly, he had no reason to be up there other than he just wanted to prove to the world that he's not broke. But the problem is, there's no way to beat the internet. Now, it's seeming like one of the most egregious lies that he put out there was that he was now the new chairman of Revolt. He said that out of his own mouth.
I'm now the chairman of Revolt right now. And I have 15.
You don't deserve to be the chairman.
I got you. So I'm now Cam's boss, the chairman of Revolt with a pathway to acquisition. I've been trying to buy Revolt.
How do we know this not cap? We ain't see this on Deadline.
And it's funny because Dame said in the interview, hey, do you guys not have Chat GPT? Like, do you not do your research? Well, unfortunately, Lauren LaRosa did her research and she called cap on the idea of Dame being a chairman of anything.
I know your phone was hot yesterday, Lauren LaRosa.
Oh my God, yes. So yesterday, after we had our conversations here about Dame Dash and all the things and the interview, I was told by a publicist that I spoke to who actually leads their comms over their communications, like, hey, can you please put on record that you spoke to me? I want to make sure that people know that Dame Dash is not the chairman of Revolt. Now, when I posted that, hey, I spoke to the lead publicist at Revolt, who confirms Dame Dash is not the chairman. Oh, baby. When I say all the guns came out.
Didn't he threaten to sue me? What I had to do with it?
He did threaten to sue you as well. He actually said he said that you were up here making false claims and that his attorneys would get involved if you continue to do so.
What false claims did I make?
I'm not, because we were talking about, remember you said on air the Revolt thing. He said, Charlamagne, I would advise you not to make up phony stories without real names, saying that anything I said was not true, or we will have a legal problem. Don't try to compromise my reputation. I have proof to support everything I say that will stand up in any court.
He said he was going to be the new chairman of Revolt, and he said that he was going to acquire Revolt, and Revolt reached out to us and told us that wasn't true. How's that my fault?
Well, the trade that he was talking about, or the news announcement he was talking about, came via Vibe. So Vibe did an article, and it was like, mind you, this is following me saying, hey, the lead publicist at Revolt is saying Dame Dash is not chairman, not for a month, not for any time. So Vibe did an article. It was an announcement of him being a chairman at Revolt. It said that it would be for a month term. And then it had quotes from the CEO of Revolt, or alleged quotes from the CEO of Revolt, and all these things, right? So all this is happening. And then there is the Shade Room that obtains an exclusive email that was sent internally at Revolt. Now, this email is from Detavio Samuels, who is the CEO of Revolt Television. And in the email, he says, I know some of you may have caught Dame Dash's interview on The Breakfast Club today. To set the record straight, Dame Dash is a hip-hop pioneer with a proven track record as a creator. Yes, we've been in conversations about potential partnerships, things like licensing his shows and films for Revolt, but there is no signed deal. He is not the chairman of our company. There's no acquisition path on the table. The quote from me and Vibe is completely fabricated. I never said any of that. If anything major were to happen, you'd hear it directly from me. But yeah, they had to internally tell their team, hey, this is not true, because the employees were like, what is happening right now?
Oh, I told y'all yesterday that I thought he was capping. I also told y'all yesterday he was going to spend all day explaining himself, and that's exactly what he did.
So Dame had posted some text that he alleged between him and Detavio Samuels, who was the CEO of Revolt, and he's basically trying to show that there was an ownership conversation of some sort.
Not only that, the sources told her he's not on a path to acquire any type of ownership in Revolt. And if that wasn't enough, shout out to Wayno. I'm watching his page today, and he said that he also reached out to Revolt and his sources, and they told him the same thing.
Yeah, he was the chairman of Revolt. That's what he said. That's his announcement that came out today. But as fast as the announcement came out, of course it was going to be rebuttals and shit. I myself reached out to somebody from Revolt, and they told me that that wasn't true.
And if that wasn't egregious enough, one of the main parts I want to highlight when he told this bold-faced lie was that, yeah, I'm going to be Cam's boss. And he said, yo, I'll let you keep your shows though. Now, I'm hoping that this was just a miscommunication between Dame and the CEO, but I just don't see how something so big can be a miscommunication like that. A chairman is a very important position in any type of business. So for him to felt like he was misled or it was some type of misunderstanding, it just doesn't sit well. It doesn't make sense to me. And Charlamagne brought up a good point where he said, yo, you was just on the Art of Dialogue talking about how a lot of bad things happened after you brought up the idea of making Cameron the vice president, but he jumped out the window before you could even talk to him and discuss it and really put it out there and make a decision. He was already saying that he was the president of Rockefeller Records. But then you turned around 2 weeks later after saying that and you did the same thing on the Breakfast Club because your ego wouldn't let you say, hey, I don't really have the motion that I'm trying to put on right now. So I'm just going to pull a rabbit out of my ass and say whatever the hell I need to say to seem like I'm still successful, Dame, from the 1900s to 2004.
All I know is Dame cares too much what the internet thinks. You know what I mean? But you know what's interesting? A couple weeks ago, Dame was sitting down on Art of Dialogue, being chatty patty, and he said Cameron's premature public announcement of becoming president of Rockefeller back in 2002 caused real problems and created real tension at Rockefeller back then.
I discussed it with Cam. He made an announcement and amateurs panicked. Cam does what Cam does. He goes and makes announcements, didn't give a... But
fast forward just 2 weeks later, and Dame is on the radio making the same kind of premature announcement. Matter of fact, it's not even premature. It wasn't even, there's nothing to announce.
I really didn't understand what happened there. Like, I didn't believe that. I mean, I know when I post the story that, like, I do my due diligence to find out what really happened, but when I found out, I was like, there's no way. I don't know. I was caught off guard, but, you know.
You can't believe somebody would just lie like that.
Now, Cameron would come on to dismiss the claims of him being his boss. He actually was saying, Negro, I tried to put you on at Revolt. I had 2 slots for 2 shows left, and I tried to give them to you because you helped me in the past. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. And it sounds to me like Cam is saying, bro, you let your ego get in the way. We was trying to do some teamwork, but because you mad at me or because you in competition with me, you chose not to do that.
About what he talked about this week, but I'll say this one thing. This is what I will say. The nigga called Revolt last week and say he wants to put his content on Revolt channel. Revolt programming is booked up until 2026. They don't have any room for programming, so maybe in 2026 or whatever. So I have 2 more shows I could do this year. And so when I found that out, I called my man Fendi, because I know what Fendi and Dame speak. I said, yo, tell Dame, I'll put his shows on my slot on Revolt, because I have 2 more shows I could put on Revolt, if I can executive produce the shows. I said, he did it for me. When I needed help, he put my albums out on Rockefeller, and I let him executive produce them. I'm trying to do the same thing for you. I got 2 slots left. If you want 2 shows on Revolt this year, and you wasn't getting paid because you said you do it for free, I got a couple dollars for you. I'm just the executive producer of the show. He tell Fendi. First he tell Fendi, yeah, he like, I ain't bet. Nah, matter of fact, fuck that, I'm the Godfather. He can't executive produce my shows, Dang, their own god kids don't want you. How you the Godfather of anything? Your word don't count no more. You don't got teeth. You have dentures. Your word don't mean nothing. You fell off the Mount Rushmore of Harlem a long time ago. But we'll address it all tomorrow and Friday. But don't say I ain't trying to help out. You didn't want me to executive produce your TV shows. Could have walked right in for you. See you tomorrow, talk with Flea, nigga.
Now, another egregious lie that they saying that Dame said was still focused on Cameron when he got on the Art of Dialogue, and he told a story about how he was in the car with Harlem legend Big L as well as Cameron, and he had 3 bricks of weed in the car and they didn't know and they got stopped, and he had to tell them, hey, listen, man, I got some stuff in the trunk, but I'll take the charge. I'll own up to it, but let's just go through this checkpoint and see what happens. And he said that Cameron was nervous. He started crying. Cameron's just a basketball player. He never really sold dope or sold drugs like he puts on until after his rap career started falling off and he went to Ohio. This is all the things that he said on the Art of Dialogue.
But he never hustled one day that I know of on a Harlem block. And because you said that and did this thing with my son, I don't want to answer it. That's why I told the story about why I never hustled with Cam. The reason I never sold a drug with Cam. You know why? Because when he was young, I was on my way to the hill, me, him, and Big L. And I made a left on Amsterdam into a checkpoint, and I didn't have a license. But at that time, they didn't really always lock you up, but they sometimes did. So I was like, yo, I think I can get out of this, but I'm just letting y'all know I got 3 bricks in the car, but I'll wear it. Cam started crying, man. And he told us right then and there that he would put himself in PC. Fuck that, I'm putting myself in PC. Me and Big L like, what? So we went to the side and was like, you know, afterwards we were laughing, but we were like, I was like, I will never hustle with him. He's a ball player. And he does music, so I never really, he's a civilian. But you can't be saying you the best that ever did it in Harlem, and you never sold drugs, and if you had to go to Ohio after you was a rapper, that's not the best that ever did it. How dare you say some shit like that? And another thing is like, they made up no homo, but this nigga saying pause, has pause on his forehead. You didn't make up pause. So you lost your rights. You're not, to me, you're Fredo, you're Cameo. No more. Pause. Don't act like you don't. Every time you say pause, you're celebrating the Godfather, me. We made that up. Stop saying it unless you think I'm the best that ever did it. Don't act like you did it. That was, I'm like, these niggas saying, and the reason why is they can't say no homo, because they'll get canceled. So now you're going to try to now take that? So how could you say you the best that ever did it? Don't ever say that. So I also have to regulate that because I don't want people ever to think that's a reflection of Harlem. Guys that curve, stab their brother in the back to help them out, won't pick up their phone.
Now, we almost knew 100% that Cam was going to say something. And when he got to It Is What It Is, they had a brief segment because he wants to talk about it more in depth on his other show on Revolt. But he had to say something, and he said, man, dog, this don't even sound right. I've never even been in a car with Dame and Big L at the same time. I never cried. And he also said that, yo, if Big L, knowing the person he was, if he saw that you had 3 bricks, you never would have made it home. He was the type of nigga, a grimy nigga that'll line you up, and he's gonna take that off of you. And Mace confirmed it by saying he's right because he lined me up before.
You all right?
Yeah, man. Today I almost cried thinking about you, man. For real, how you doing these days, man?
I see you every day. This morning, I literally see you every day. So just this morning, just this morning you gonna cry for me?
Yeah, man.
Right, man.
Yeah.
I hear you, man. Well, I'm good.
You never told me about you and Big L and Dame being in the car.
Well, yeah, yo, I seen that. I didn't know me, Big L, and Dame was in the car together. I didn't even know that me, Big L, and Dame have ever been in the car together.
Oh, man.
You know what's great? I was going to save that for my show because I didn't want to get into this. I really didn't want to get into it.
Yeah, I was going to mind my business, but I saw Mo with the popcorn. I said, he's taking my part, boss.
I've never, look at Mo got the
I might as well talk with Flea.
Now, I'm going to say for Tofi, but I didn't know that nigga was such a liar. Like, you know how your man is your man, so you probably don't be annoyed. Like that's your man. You be like, nah, you just hate us. I didn't know this nigga lied like that, man. Yeah. First of all, let me tell you something. And last I'm going to talk Flea, but Mace, no.
Yeah.
Yo, listen, bro. Big L is not your man. This whole shit don't even make no sense. First of all, I'll say this real quick because we got to move on. Me, you, and Big L going to get drugs or riding around Harlem don't even sound right. Big L didn't fuck with you. I tried to plug you into Big L when you wanted to sign him when he started his own label, Flamboyant. And y'all was trying to sign him. But Big L brother, Big Lee and Reg, they didn't like you. If you had 3 bricks in the car, or you was on the way to get 3 bricks in the car, or on the way to get bricks, whatever fucking lie you told, story you told, you wouldn't have made it home. Big L lines niggas. Mace, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You lying me. So,
Yo, Big
you
L.
got a point there. Yeah, you quick on your feet.
Big L lines niggas like barbers, my nigga. You wouldn't have made it home, my nigga. Stop that. Yo, it's really, you going out bad, bro. Stop lying, my nigga. Me, you, and Big L have never been nowhere to get no work or had no work or stopped in a checkpoint or nothing, my nigga. You going out bad. But I'll just sit on talk with Flea Murder. But yeah, man, you might need to say a prayer for me.
And last but not least, Dame would talk about actress Claudia Jordan and the scene that they had in a movie. And she was claiming that there was a lot of inappropriateness on Dame's behalf. And he found a weird way to sit there and deny it. He tried to make it seem like he was very uninterested in her, to the point where he said, hey, look, man, I just need you to get ready for the scene. Here goes my phone. Here goes a porno. Go to the car and look at it. Let me know when you're ready.
Claudia Jordan, right? She talks sexual and all. I don't want to. And the movie was about a wife that fucking everybody, and I didn't want to have to direct and talk to her a certain way. And the first scene, I was boning, right? I can show you the scene. It's graphic, right? But it's a graphic. You know, it's meant to be that way. So usually, as a director, you might spend some time with her. I didn't want to, so I gave her a porno and said, you know, go look in the car, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, when you're ready, let me know. So she was saying that she found that to be sexual harassment or something like that. Or she just felt like it was inappropriate. And I was like, yo, I didn't want to talk sex with you. That's why I gave it to you and said, go over there. So to me, allegedly, she perjured herself for benefit.
Now, Claudia is saying, no, that's not how it went. Actually, Dame, you're a pervert. And you were very, very, very inappropriate on the set.
Hey guys, I'm out here playing in this golf tournament and my phone is blowing up with notifications that Dame Dash once again has my name in his mouth when he should be having Polident tight grip in his mouth, instead holding those cheap ass dentures in place instead of worrying about me. Why do you keep trying to bring me into your mess? You've been sued by everybody, you've lost every single lawsuit, and you owe the government all this money, yet you keep trying to bring me into your bullshit. I have been quiet. On the set of Dear Frank, you were wildly inappropriate. You did shit on that set that should have shut it down, okay? Very inappropriate. The way you were carrying on with the women on set and what you did to me during the one scene was fucked up. I have not embarrassed you yet because everybody else has done that job for me, and including yourself. But if you want to keep running your mouth, then I'm going to tell my side. You was a fucking pervert on set. You were disgusting. The things you did with that porn tape and what you tried to do to get me ready for a scene with you while your shunt was showing out of your chest and you thought you was hot, you were not. You were a fat fucking mess. And yes, I understand you see me everywhere, so and you're nowhere except pretending to own ranches that you don't own and borrowing money from people. And you see people that are just flourishing without you, and like you do with Jay-Z, you're just sitting there jealous of everybody else, counting everybody else's money. So now you want to include me in your lawsuit, nigga? Bring it on. You lost every other suit that my lawyer Chris Brown has gone up against you against. You've lost everything. You don't pay rent. You fuck up with all the contracts. You've been sued by everybody and lost because you steal property from people. You found guilty of that, okay? From women. You rent expensive homes to give the image of you being wealthy, and then you default and don't pay your rent. And you've been sued by them, and you've lost those cases too. So why is my name in your mouth? I didn't want my body in your mouth. I sure don't want my name in your mouth. So keep all of us out of your mouth and out of your thoughts, okay? I'm so sick and tired of your shit. You are the reason for your failure. And Dame, you talk so much shit about people being culture vultures, stealing from the culture and not down with black people and they working for the white man, all while you parade a woman around that is a white woman and you pretend to be that she's Puerto Rican, that you think, oh, it's different, right, with me. And you talk so much shit about everybody else. Not that there's anything wrong with dating a white woman or a Puerto Rican woman, but you go out of your way to pretend that she's not what she is, okay? In my opinion. And I think that's super whack, but that just shows your character.
Now look, man, I don't know who's lying, who's telling the truth. Maybe it's somewhere in between. But if I just look at Dame's track record just from this interview alone, there's so many things that could be debunked, so many things that were just egregious lies, that I'll have to say that I'll believe Claudia Jordan before I ever believe him. And I'm going to just say this before I get out of here, man. the internet is a dangerous place because all of your idols that were so cool back in the day, the internet is breaking them down and you're realizing that, man, these people aren't who I thought they were. Man, when I was 14, 15, I couldn't wait to go to the club and have a bottle in my hand and do the little Dame Dash dance. I just knew that that's what the club looked like. Matter of fact, I did it the first time I got a bottle of Havana bitch in the club in Atlanta. I had a little section. You know I grabbed my little bottle and hit the dance. Now give it to me. Give me that funk that, yeah, come on, man. Stop playing. But to see this denture devil out here just lying like this, not only lying on Cameron, lying about being a chairman, lying about Claudia Jordan, I just can't even rock with that, man. We can't get jiggy to that shit. To all my OGs, listen to the younger G. You know you never too old to take advice. Listen, put the phone down. That's all the advice I got for you. So y'all let me know, man. Do y'all think that everybody just against Dame and they lying on him? Or is he just lying to everybody else? Y'all let me know down below in the comments, man. Like, share, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell. And we out, baby. Boom!
It's him.